If you have irritable bowel syndrome, you know how frustrating it can be. But what if one of the most powerful, science-backed treatments wasn't some new pill, but a way to actually retrain the connection between your mind and your body? Today, we're going to dive into the science of gut-directed hypnotherapy, a really fascinating way to manage IBS. Okay, let's just start with this one big question. Imagine your gut and your brain are talking to each other all day long. Normally, it's a pretty smooth conversation, but with IBS, it's more like a really bad phone connection, full of static, crossed wires, and just total misunderstandings. And that communication breakdown, that's right at the heart of the whole problem. So, to figure out how we can fix this messed up connection, we first need to understand where it's all going wrong. Experts have pinpointed four main issues, four core mechanisms that really drive IBS symptoms. Think of them as the four related problems that we need to get a handle on. First up, there's motility. This is all about rhythm. Your gut muscles are supposed to have this steady, coordinated beat to move things along. But with IBS, that rhythm gets totally thrown off. It can speed way up, leading to diarrhea, or it can slow way down and you get constipation. Next, we have something called visceral hypersensitivity. The easiest way to think about this is like the volume dial in your gut has been cranked all the way up to 11. So normal stuff like gas moving through or just regular digestion, things other people wouldn't even feel, get registered as pain. The nerves are just overreacting. The third piece of the puzzle is your gut microbiota. Yep, the trillions of tiny bacteria living inside you. When the balance of good and bad bacteria gets disrupted, it can mess with everything from your motility to inflammation, just adding another layer of trouble. And finally, there's altered CNS processing. This is a problem up at headquarters. Your central nervous system, your brain and spinal cord, is getting perfectly normal messages from your gut, but it's misreading them. It's treating a routine status update like a 5-alarm fire, and it hits the pain button in response. Okay, so we've got these four different things going on, but what connects all of them? Well, the answer is this incredibly complex network called the gut-brain axis. You can just think of it as the master control system for your entire digestive world. And here's the most important thing to get about it. This is not a one-way street. It's a two-way superhighway. Information is constantly flowing in both directions. Your brain affects your gut. That butterflies in your stomach feeling when you're nervous? That's it in action. And just as importantly, your gut has a huge effect on your brain. This superhighway has a few key players. You've got the brain, of course. Then the gut has its own nervous system, which is pretty cool. You've got the microbiome we mentioned and hormones. But the main data cable connecting the two big hubs, that's the vagus nerve. It's this massive nerve sending signals back and forth all day, every day. So that brings us right to the heart of the problem in IBS. What happens when this superhighway has a total traffic jam? What happens when all the signals get mixed up and corrupted? Well, in a healthy system, the signals are pretty calm and orderly. But in IBS, they just become chaotic. They get amplified, they get misinterpreted, and then stress and anxiety can jump in and make it all even worse, creating this awful feedback loop. Your gut feels bad, which makes you anxious, which in turn makes your gut feel even worse. So I really want to land this point. IBS is not all in your head, but it's also not just a gut problem. It is a genuine brain-body disorder. It is a real, physical, measurable problem with this communication superhighway. And just acknowledging that is a huge first step. Okay, so if the issue is a faulty communication link, how on earth do you fix it? This is exactly where gut-directed hypnotherapy, or GDH, comes in. It's an approach that is specifically designed to get in there and recalibrate that gut-brain connection. And the results are, honestly, pretty amazing. Clinical studies have shown that about 70% of people with IBS respond positively to this treatment. That's a huge number, 7 out of 10 people. And it's what's made GDH a legitimate evidence-based therapy. And get this, the benefits stick around. The positive changes you get from GDH aren't just a temporary patch. Research shows they can last for 5 years, or even longer after you finish the treatment program. So how does it actually do this? Well, part 1, it works on the brain. Brain scans actually show that during hypnosis, GDH can quiet down the activity in the parts of the brain that turn up the volume on pain, while at the same time boosting the parts responsible for calm, rational thinking. It directly targets that altered CNS processing we talked about. And part two, it works on the gut. That state of deep relaxation you enter during hypnosis helps to calm the gut's own nervous system. Over time, this literally helps turn down that volume dial of visceral hypersensitivity, so the nerves just aren't as quick to scream pain. So you put all that together, and the benefits are about so much more than just symptoms. Yes, it reduces pain, bloating, and urgency, but it also helps normalize your gut function, it dials down the anxiety about your symptoms, and this is huge, it gives you tools to manage your own health for the long run. Okay, but what does the treatment actually look like? What would you expect if you were to go on this journey? Let's walk through. It's a pretty structured process. It starts with an assessment, then there's a series of therapy sessions. But I want you to look at step 3, between session practice. This is so important. You get recordings to listen to every day. That daily reinforcement is absolutely vital because that's what helps make those new, calmer pathways in the gut-brain axis stick. And this really highlights that this isn't a passive therapy where something is just done to you. Success is really built on a partnership. Your own engagement, your commitment to doing the practice, that collaboration is what makes all the difference and leads to the very best results. Which really leaves us with this final powerful thought. For the millions of people struggling with IBS, maybe the answer isn't just about focusing on the gut. By finally understanding this incredible communication superhighway between our brain and our gut, we open up a whole new way of thinking about healing. So, could it be that the real key to a calmer gut actually lies in having a calmer brain?